Hello YouTubers. So it's been a while since I updated my channel. In my previous videos, if you haven't seen them, I suggest you go through them. I replaced the lead acid batteries on my side-by-side and I replaced them with 18650 cells. Unfortunately, last fall I forgot the side-by-side in the on position for about 3 weeks. And what happened is that it completely drained my batteries. Fortunately, I guess one of the group of cells were weaker than the others, and so the voltage dropped to almost 0 volts, and the side-by-side turned itself off at that point. Unfortunately, what happened is that these low cells completely died, and I could not charge them back up. So this is the pack. Like I said in my previous videos, you'll see that I combine 3 groups of cells. So these are groups of 128 cells. And these are all in parallel, and this is in series, so it should be 1, 2, and that would be my 3rd group. Now what you have here is the cells that were very low voltage, and I retested them. Of all the 128 cells, these are how many remain that are still good. So I've got about 49 good cells. Out of the remaining cells which are no longer good, there's 15 that were basically turned into heaters. I could not charge them. They would just get really hot, and therefore they were completely bad. Out of the about 45 of them, they were able to take a charge and were able to successfully give me a value for capacity. But when I left it in standing for about a month, the voltage would drop really significantly. So again, those were also bad. What's funny is actually out of these cells, 11 have a higher capacity than what they had previously. So the balance of course has reduced capacity, but not significantly. So these can be reused, and I just need to add some new cells to refill this pack. So what I'll have to do here is add the cells, resolder them. I've got my bus bars over here, and I've got the bus bars are also underneath there. So that's the negative underneath here of the pack. My bus bar comes up here, and when it's going to be added to these two groups of cells, this makes my pack positive, and the negative will come up here. Now as you can see here, these cells are still good. I've got the 2 groups of cells, which 3.77 and 3.78. So that's a good voltage for storage. So these been left here in my garage, which is cool but not too cold, over the winter, so that's basically in sort of storage mode. Now I have to rebuild this pack by completing these cells, adding them to the pack, rebuilding my pack with heat shrink. Like again, if you look at my previous videos, you'll see how I did that, and then put that back into my Commander for another season of quadding. So I just finished rebuilding the pack that I had destroyed. So this is the group of cells that were bad, and I've now refilled the battery pack using some new cells. So I didn't show the process. You can see that on my previous videos how I did that. Now everything is rebuilt. It's not encased yet. As you can see with the voltmeter here, these are the 2 groups of cells that were already in the pack, and this is the new group. So as you can see, it's quite imbalanced. So right now it's running it's trying to balance the cells, but this only drains about, I think, 100 milliamp. So it would take probably weeks to get it balanced with these other 2 cells. So to speed up the process, what I've decided to do is I'm going to charge the 2 groups of cells here to bring them up to 3.88 like the bottom groups of cells. So right now I've got wires connected, so I got the pack positive with the green wire and alligator clips clamped to the middle of these 2 groups. So that way it's going to charge these 2 groups together. So in order to give it up to 3.88 times 2, that's 7.76. So I've got a charger here, and you can see that. There you go. 7.76. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And let's see if it makes any difference. Hasn't made a difference yet. There's just quite a bit of amp hours in there, so this is only charging at 1 amp. Let's bring it up 5 amps. And let's see how that is. So yeah, it's already starting to increase the voltage. See, this top cell is a little bit higher than the middle cell, so it's actually trying to balance it. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the balance feature. And I'll let that charge. And then hopefully it'll be balanced. If I run this overnight, hopefully by tomorrow morning it'll all be balanced, and then I can I can rebuild the pack, heat shrink it, and then put it back on the ATV.